Hey, Endless Honeymoon Podcast listeners, if you love this show, the best way to support us is to buy some merch.
We have a coffee mug, we have an amazing beach towel, and we have some very cute short shorts in many sizes.
That's right. So if you want to get yours now and make your butt look like Natasha's butt, go to endlesshoneymoonpod.com/shop.
Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast.
My name's Moshe Kasher.
And I'm Natasha Leggero.
And that's our dog Pablo, if you're watching on the YouTube, eating a carrot truly the size of his entire body and like Bugs Bunny, like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
I mean, when I realized that dogs could eat carrots instead of like meat scraps, I thought that was an improvement in my life.
Well, right now it's looking real intense. It's looking like he's chewing on a gigantic dildo.
Less diarrhea.
Tosh, how you doing?
I'm fine.
We had an adventure recently, didn't we?
What did we do?
Well, we went for a long hike.
In the hot springs.
We walked an hour hike into this beautiful hot spring. And the whole time I was telling Natasha how beautiful it was, how special the place was. It's like a gorgeous walk and on a very shaded trail. And when we got there, it was beautiful. It was more beautiful than I could have imagined, I guess.
There were a lot of gorgeous naked women there, and Moshe got excited, I guess.
I would say there were half a dozen gigantic-breasted nude women.
But they were also like very beautiful.
Very beautiful. Definitely looking like a...
Pretty young.
Definitely looking like a chill-out tent at the Burn.
It looked a little more attractive than what I've seen at Burning Man. But
Right. Natasha, you mentioned that you thought Burning Man people weren't attractive, and I think that that's a one of your memory deciding that the people there aren't attractive.
I didn't say that.
What's that?
I didn't say they're not attractive.
What did you say?
I'm just saying those girls at the hot springs, and they weren't all together. There was like a few different groupings, but they all seemed more on like a model.
I guess that's the point of the story, is that we went to the hot springs and there were 17 naked models there, and I had a really good time and just got to know them, and we really connected, a lot of us.
No, Moshe, he was calling me a prude because I thought that maybe the girl who ran up to him with her tits just hanging out of her, she had a one piece on, but then she had it one piece down.
She had flopped it on down.
She had flopped it down, and she ran after Moshe. She was like, "Hey, are you the guy who knows about surf spots?"
And I was that guy.
And then she asked him like all these questions about where to go, and she was like, he was telling her all these like intricate directions on how to get to these surf spots. Meanwhile, she's not writing it down or putting it into her phone.
Well, it all got stored into the sense memory of her tits.
And then when she left, I told Moshe that I thought it was funny that she had that whole conversation with him with her top down, because if it were me and I saw that someone was with their girlfriend wearing a swimsuit, I probably wouldn't be asking them a lot of questions with my tits out. And then you said that I'm a square normie or something.
No, I just said you're like the dad from Footloose, and I think that's a compliment. But it did bring up this conversation that I was having with some friends when I was at Fake Burning Man, which was that they were talking about someone. Basically, the argument was they're older guys, and they were talking about how horny they get around hot women. And I think you were saying that, like, was I horny because there were topless women there? And I was like, of course I wasn't horny. I'm not there. It
wasn't just topless women. It was topless women in like full-on conversations with different ones.
But
like one girl seemed like she was Diplo's girlfriend, and she was talking about like all the DJ sets, and Moshe was like talking to them about the Bay and his surfing career.
I just thought they were really interesting people.
That he was a comedian.
There was just a lot that I found compelling about them.
But your thing with me is that it's just like, why does it matter that their tits are out?
Well, I've been in enough weird hippie situations where I can be around gorgeous women who aren't wearing clothes and not feel aroused. I find it kind of bizarre that you would get aroused by nothing more than somebody not wearing clothes. Like, I get aroused when someone's flirting with me and I'm flirting back with them, but I don't do that because I'm in a committed relationship. So it requires some form of engagement in order for me to get like turned on by someone. Like, do you feel like you'd be turned on if there was like a muscle bound, like the hot man lolling by a beach?
No,
with
but
no clothes on?
I'm not simple.
But I'm not simple.
Men are simple.
I guess that's true in a way. But I guess I'm not simple in that way. It's like being turned on by Angelina Jolie to me. It's like, do you get turned on when you see a topless photo of Jennifer Aniston like sunbathing
Honey,
in
Jennifer
Milan?
Aniston doesn't have topless photos of her on.
Don't the paparazzi like snap photos of celebs when they're on their yacht or something like that? It's just like that's the equivalent of me seeing a hot woman with her shirt off. Like I'm not aroused just based on.
So when she was asking you about like all the different surf spots to go to, and she said she was a surf instructor, but she'd only been surfing for a year. So when she's talking to you, do you? She was very sweet, very
She was
nice.
She was nice.
When she's asking you all these questions, if she has her tits covered or not covered, it's 100% the same to you.
I wouldn't say it's the same.
Like, what is the percentage of a difference?
No, it's not that it's the same. Well,
Like, do you ever look at the boobs, or you just kind of pretend
yeah,
like
I do
you
a
don't see
quick.
'em?
I do a quick glance because I'm only human, you know. But in general, I'm trying to treat in a hippie situation like that when people are unclothed. I'm trying to treat the topless woman as though she is wearing clothes. Yeah, I'm trying to like, you know. I mean, I can't help but steal a glance. You know, I do know the color of her nipples, and I'm thinking about it right now.
What
But-
color were her nipples?
like pink, and they were very nice. But like the point is, what I'm trying to do is to give her like because the whole point of those like nudie kind of places is that they're non-sexualized, right? So that people can feel free to be nude without feeling like they're being leered at or objectified.
Right, ideally.
Well, that's the point of them, and because I've been around a lot of those situations, I try to respect that convention. I'm not like it's almost like I'd be more no, this is straight up true. If I wasn't with you, I would be much more comfortable like flirting with a woman who was wearing clothes than I would flirting with a woman who wasn't wearing clothes at like a hot spring or something.
Right.
Because there's some kind of lecherousness that's involved with being like, oh, you're naked? Let me hit on you. So I wouldn't do that. In fact, that's why a lot of women complain about hot springs, because there's like always some like leering old man. There's always some like gross guy that's there all the time, kind of spread eagle, just staring, doing a lot of 1,000-yard staring.
I feel like the girl who was asking you about surf spots, she was looking for that guy. She like had a journal with her swimsuit half down, and she was kind of presenting with her ass up, like she was on her stomach in the hot spring journaling with her like butt presenting to the crowd. And then she was talking to the girls you were talking to, which were other girls.
There was a lot of girls.
And,
I do wish I had a single friend. I wish I'd had a single friend there with me, because when a girl's like, hey, I'm traveling alone and looking for surf spots, the answer is, I'll come with you to the surf spot. So I wished I had a friend to say, hey, why don't you take her? You guys can go on a date.
You know who I like to talk to at hot springs?
Let me guess.
Women.
Oh, I thought you were going to say nobody.
No, women are
Oh.
good to talk to.
You know who I like to talk
I
to?
never want to talk to a man at a hot
That's fascinating,
spring.
because you know who I like talking to at a hot spring?
Who?
Women.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. I don't see. I again, this comes back to a conversation we were having last week, that women walk through the world with a different reality than men. Like, to me, I don't really care. I don't ever. It's not like I ever feel. It's not like I ever feel perved out by a man at a hot spring. But why would I? They're not there to perv me out. They're there to perv the women out.
Well, should we take a call, Mosh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now we're going to call Andrew and Elizabeth in Louisville.
Louisville.
I think it's called Louisville.
Louisville?
I think so.
No, it's not called Louisville.
It is.
You think it's just named after a town where Lou lives?
No, I think that's how you pronounce it with a southern accent.
Louisville?
Louisville. All right, let's ask her. Hi.
Andrew, Elizabeth, can you say
Hi.
the name of the city you live in, please?
Louisville.
Louisville? What do you mean, ah ha ha? That you didn't win.
You just gurgled the vowels together. So it's like Louisville.
You don't move your mouth.
I did win. Mine was closer than yours. Yours is Louisville. I said it's Louisville.
Wait, now
There's no E in Louisville.
She's closer.
Louisville?
That's not
Lowell.
Louisville.
Louisville. It sounds like a rapper.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You gotta sound a little drunk, like you've been drinking a lot of bourbon.
Lilville.
No,
Lowell.
Louisville.
Lilville.
I mean,
Louisville.
anyway.
Okay, well, okay.
Moshe can't admit that I'm right.
Okay, well, okay, I'm sorry. Louisville. Welcome from Louisville. Talk to us. What's going on? You guys are cute. What's happening?
Thanks. You guys are cute too.
Thanks.
We would like to live together, but um, I have two cats that are very shy and little, and he has one very big friendly dog, and
Very friendly.
Oh, Clifford?
very friendly. And we're not quite sure how to put those two together. And we're also still kind of unsure about where to live because we each have our own kind of areas in Louisville that we've established our lives, and it's hard to kind of choose between the two.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a two-pronged approach.
Two-pronger. Yeah.
How many dogs are there?
You know,
One big one.
One big red dog, Clifford, and two timid little cats.
little gray cat.
I would get rid of the cats.
That's not the solution, Natasha.
I mean, you don't want something
I will-
shitting in your
I will
house.
defend here. I don't think that's a good idea. I like the cats. They're cool cats.
Can't you get cats to shit outside? Like cats,
They're
like,
only inside cats.
yeah, I don't get that.
Here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to move to get in together. Clifford is going to go after the cats, and the cats are going to have a new reality, which is that their lives are going to be miserable for the rest of their lives.
Hey, it happened to my dogs when my baby came.
Yep, they're never going to be happy again.
Yeah.
But the reality here is that you cannot put your life on pause for the emotional stability of your cats. That's not normal life. You got to just let them suffer. That's my thought.
I think there's that, and then on the flip side, whenever we're over at her apartment, Bruno really wants to play with her cats, and her cats are pretty good at getting away, and so I think there's times where especially where cats are nocturnal and her cats are nocturnal anyway, and Bruno's a big sleeper. So sometimes I think the reverse is also true, where he's like, he's not getting a lot of sleep, and maybe he's not the most comfortable situation there. But
Okay, I know what needs to happen. You guys, I have it. Need to get a house, have a baby, and then you won't care about your fucking pets anymore.
To just have a baby and that answer.
Well,
Yeah, I
Wait.
mean, they're gonna have to just figure it out.
Yeah, they'll all be okay. Are you saying Bruno gets sad because the cats reject his play overtures?
Bruno really is a big
If
attention
you
whore.
see his
Uh-huh.
face, it's so sad.
You guys are gonna make good parents too, which is the good news.
I mean,
Or we'll spoil them terribly.
yeah, I just think you put these, they're just dogs and cats. You just put them together. They'll figure out an equilibrium in your household, and everybody will be fine. Your cats will never complain because they don't know English. Everything will move on, and Bruno will be okay too. And he'll maybe even write a song. Maybe even say someday, "Why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat?"
And you maybe leave a little bit open for something that you don't know is going to happen with them. Maybe there will be like a fun play situation, or maybe feeding them. I don't know. Maybe they'll start to chill out together. You just don't know. Maybe their personalities might change a little bit for the better.
Maybe you guys will eventually grow to hate one another, and it won't work out romantically between the two of you, and you'll go your separate ways. And maybe she'll take Bruno and you'll take the cats. You can't know the future.
I'll just take them all.
Yeah. Well, now what's this other prong?
So we live in different areas of Louisville, different neighborhoods, and he is very settled in his space, and I am very established in my space. And they're like 15 minutes apart. It's not a huge deal, but it's still kind of like, well, should we move to his neighborhood where he has like all his like dog people, and like it's closer to like one of his jobs and things?
You
or
have
do we
dog.
move-
Wait, you have dog people in your neighborhood? Is it
I,
is it segregated like that, where the dog owners live on one side of town and the cat owners? Oh, you guys are like a West Side Story situation.
It's true.
So we started a
Forbidden
dog
love.
club.
He did. I did not.
I started a dog club when quarantine had started with some of my neighbors. So that grew from like a handful
Wow,
of people.
it is rough out there,
How
huh?
boring is Louisville? What happens in the dog club? What do you guys do?
And that's first rule is to not talk about it, actually.
Is
So-
that right?
No, listen, you guys need to shack up. You get more for your money, and just like see where you can get the best place. I mean,
Wait, is the idea that one of you would move into the other's house, or the other of you would move into because the obvious answer is what Natasha said: find a new place.
Well, Can you?
So the trick is that we both have significant ties to where we're at. So the like on her end, she's established a lot of like where her vet is. She's really close to her. She's really close to her work. She
Wait,
has
hold
a lot
on.
of.
I'm sorry.
You want to live close to your vets?
Sorry.
I honestly
Okay, it's
don't
like
think
my
I can
vet,
help you
my
guys.
doctor, my
What?
prescriptions,
What the fuck?
my dentist.
You wanna
my
live-
hairdresser, my-
I'm
It's
sorry.
How
all
often
on
do you?
one road. My therapist, all on the same road.
But how often do you need to go to the therapist? You can't drive 15 minutes once every week?
Well, I don't like driving.
Why don't you guys
We
move?
don't live in LA.
What does that mean? You can't drive 15 minutes in Lerville? Like, hold on.
It's more of a hindrance.
What's
I
happening 7 minutes away from both of you? What's that neighborhood like? The one in the middle,
What direction?
suppose. Well, in between us.
right between you.
Nothing.
On the other side though, I have a.
I live in
side-
a cooler place.
Is that true?
Yes,
Debatable.
100%. You can walk to like
Any
So many
therapist, any doctor, an oncologist,
Any vet?
a vet, a plastic surgeon, a radiologist.
She's more in a downtown part of Louisville where there's a lot more walking distance from there. So a lot more
like
urban.
restaurants, bars,
Got it.
shopping.
But I mean, who's to say?
So
Yeah.
on the flip side, I have a weekend job actually working for my apartment complex where I get 20% off and they pay me on the weekends.
You get
So-
20% off your rent. I see. It seems that this all seems quite obvious to me now.
So you both
Wait,
love.
what's the
But-
obvious?
Wait,
But
you-
I'm not in as fun of a part of town. So
Mm-hmm. I think. What do you think, Tosh?
Well, I guess the idea is that you both really love where you live separately, but you want to move in together. Is that kind of the
that is
problem?
exactly the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what I'm hearing is you guys are.
I mean, you just don't get 20% off your rent anymore. I
mean,
think,
this
you
is
move in with her.
what I'm, and you get 50% off your rent because you're moving in with somebody, right? The math is pretty simple.
I like it.
I
And
think-
walking is better when you don't have to drive everywhere. You're happier.
If I could just be honest and sincere for a second, what's obvious to me here is that neither of these are real issues, and you're both just scared to move in with each other. It's just true. I mean, it's just like it does. None of this makes sense. Like, oh, my kitty cat might not eat its kibble. Or what about poor Bruno? It's like I'm gonna have to drive 7 minutes to get to my therapy appointment. It's like this is all bullshit. You guys are scared to move in together. Is it the first time you guys are moving in with somebody?
Not
Yeah.
me.
Not you,
Yeah,
but
me.
it is for you. Okay, so there's some fear or whatever. It's just like.
You live in Lurville.
Yeah, you guys are Lurville
Oh.
people. You Lurville. Oh, I get it. You do it like the little.
Lurville.
the
That was
little-
actually the closest I've heard so far. So you nailed on that one.
I just think the obvious answer is find a third place, someplace both of you like, someplace that's neither you win nor you win. You both of your expenses are going to go down automatically. Maybe you'll have to drive a little bit. Maybe you'll have to go back to your dog club. But it's just very obvious that
But
that's
what-
the right thing to do.
What I would do is start looking if you want, and just look. You know, you can be very casual because you can always fall back on one of your places, and you can start calculating like, oh, you know, like, well, that would cost this much, so maybe it's worth it for you to not have to do that job, and then you can just, you know, because you're afraid to walk away. I'm sure.
But here's the thing:
Sir.
when one of you move into the other person's space, the other person becomes dominant. That's what is going to happen. And like, you know, we used to live when I first moved in with Natasha. We lived in the house that she had lived in before me, and had lived in with another guy that she was dating before me. And it didn't bother me, but I didn't feel fully comfortable and in my own space until we moved out of that house and into this house. So that it was fully felt fully mine. And so why not, since both of you are thinking about moving, why not find a place that's more neutral for the both of you? Someplace with a yard for Bruno, with a cat, a carpet tower for the kitties, and someplace where you can both be happy.
I think that's a good plan.
In Lurville.
Okay, good luck, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy
Thanks, y'all.
Lurville.
We will.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
That was so perceptive that they're just afraid to move in.
It's true. They were just. I mean, what sense does it make where they're like, I got to get to my therapy and my vet. The vet thing was like hilarious.
She wants to live close to her vet.
I've never heard such a thing in my life.
Well, that is hard though when you're isn't it called like a what is it called? a honey hive or something, or a honey, it's like it's all too easy. It's all too good.
When you're comfortable. Yeah. And moving in with another person, we should have kept them on the line for this. Moving in with another person is uncomfortable. That's part of it, is you're subverting your own comfort in order to make space for another person. One thing that is true about being single is that it's comfortable. Even if it's lonely, even if it's difficult,
you can be very selfish.
Yeah, it's just so comfortable because it's just you. You never are making a decision that you're not comfortable with because you're the only one making any of the decisions. So I used to love being alone, even though it felt lonely and kind of shallow. I just loved it because I was in control. I was always in control, and that's what they were struggling with, giving up control.
And I think the day-to-day of living with someone, that's why it's like, when you have a long distance relationship, it's like, it's not the same.
No.
Because there's so much like wear and tear, it's like, it's a totally different thing.
Long distance relationships, unless they are moving toward becoming short distance relationship, are generally just people taking the drug of emotional intimacy without doing the work of actual intimacy.
Very perceptive. Did you just make that up?
Yeah, just right now.
Well, hopefully those people will listen to this.
Yeah, we should have kept them on longer. I felt bad. We pushed them away.
No, I just...
like Bruno and those cats.
I mean, they were just like, where should we live?
But wasn't the answer obvious? Don't let either person win. You guys are making a life together, so start fresh.
Yeah, no, they were cute.
They were cute.
I hope they find a cool spot.
Hey, I have an idea.
Yeah?
You want to hear a secret or two?
Sure.
Hey, guys. I have noticed that you mostly have secrets about relationships and sex and the like. But I know you're both parents, and this is a bit of a parenting secret about a feeling I have. So my kid, she has been reading since she was 3. She's like, really, we didn't even like do anything to make this shit happen. She's just like, tell me about Israel and Palestine. Why are they at conflict? Like, how do we solve the problem? Like, she's just really fucking precocious. And, she goes to school and like they're teaching them, how to read, and she's like bored out of her mind, and it's a big issue and all this stuff. And I have to be very diplomatic and actually have really felt like I do believe like everyone will catch up with each other, everyone's smart in different ways. All these things are true, and you know what? Like, she's not better than anyone else. She's just, this is the way she is, and whatever. This is the way her brain is right now. You know what? Recently, I have not told anyone this. I feel, no, she is smarter. You know what? She's smart. She's the smartest kid. She's smart, and I am that parent. I think my kid is the smartest kid. I think it's shocking and amazing, and I don't fucking understand, like, why everyone in the world doesn't understand that I have the smartest kid in the fucking town. Not really. In the school, maybe. And I feel that so strongly, and I can't tell a soul because that makes you an asshole. Yeah, I don't want to be that parent, but inside, I am that parent. And thanks. I just had to get that off my chest now. It feels really good. And just want to say, I love you both. I saw you at Caroline's many years ago. I look forward to seeing you live again together. You're delightful. Okay, thank you for making the pandemic a little brighter. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Her secret's that she thinks her kid is smarter than other kids.
Yeah.
But it does seem smarter.
It does?
Was it a girl? I couldn't...
Yeah, I think it was a girl.
She could read when she was 3.
And she's asking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. This feels like one of those tweets in real life coming true. My 3-year-old looked at me the other day and said, "Mother, why would anyone even consider a vote for Trump when Joe Biden brings a platform of compassionate liberalism that it still is a pragmatic reality, engaging in the issues that affect us today with a COVID plan that will make America safer?" And then I knew my child was special. She played her hand at the end when she said she was from New York.
Why?
It just felt like a very New York person kind of vibe. It's like, my secret is that my child is actually really, really gifted. I'll tell you what, I've met parents who think their kid are special, and I've met their kid. Then you meet the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, never been like, wow, yeah, this is the one.
I think there's something really weird about singling out kids as special, or I don't know.
Also, your child being 3 and asking about Israel doesn't mean that they're going to win a Nobel Prize. They might be a fucking idiot when they turn 14.
Well, let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Should we hear another one?
Let's do it.
Hey, gang, I have a secret here. I hate this story in that I am a person that is in the story. But when I was really young, probably like 6 or 7, I went over to stay with one of my friends and for a sleepover, play date, whatever. And halfway through the night or whatever, I asked to go to the bathroom. And he's like, yeah, let me just show you where I always go to the bathroom. And he takes me out of his room next door to his sister's room, where he just starts pissing all over her laundry and dresser. And something I hadn't known it was wrong, but like the fact that he was doing it was just like, okay, yeah, this is what we are doing this weekend. And I proceeded to piss in his sister's room all over her stuff the entire weekend. I'm really cringe about. Anyway, thanks, guys. Love the pod.
That stuff happens.
Does it?
Well, yeah, it's like you're immature. You think something's funny. I'm just saying you can't. You sometimes, like, I remember I stole stuff from my friends. Like her family let us. We were like got really into shoplifting, and you know.
I used to pee in the heater because it made
that's
a funny
like a more
sound.
gross thing. I'm just saying it's wrong.
Yeah.
You would pee in the heater.
Yeah, because it would like sizzle.
What?
Yeah.
In your house?
Yeah, in the house.
What?
Yeah. So
And then
hold on a second.
The heat would come out, and your whole house would smell like pee.
It didn't smell great. But wait, hold on. Why does he get a pass for pissing in his sister's hamper? But you're getting your judgment because I peed in. At least mine had a ASMR component to it.
Oh, wait a second. How many times did you pee in the radiator?
Countless.
In your family home?
Yeah, I had problems, Natasha. I was a troubled kid.
When you were like 16, you did this?
I don't know if I was. No, not when I was 16. No.
Like 12?
10.
Did your mom say don't pee in the radiator?
Well, she couldn't hear the sound sizzling. She's deaf, so she probably didn't know what happened. She just would.
Did she smell the piss?
You know, but what are you gonna?
So when heat comes out or air comes out, it blows piss all over the house.
Well, let me just say, like, if you're just walking through the house and you smell a bad smell, what are you gonna? You're not gonna assume my son must have pissed in the radiator.
Did you use the radiator as your toilet?
No, I just once in a while would do it because I thought it was funny.
This is disturbing.
Well, a lot of things I did were disturbing when I was a kid.
What did your brother say?
Well, which brother? Because I murdered 2 of them.
Did he say like maybe you shouldn't pee into the
I don't think
rafters?
I did it around my brother. I think I did it as a private pleasure. And right now I'm feeling like you're looking at me like that was weird. Or something.
I find it kind of shocking.
Yeah, well, listen, I had a lot of problems. I haven't done it in a long time. I haven't done it since our kid was born.
Are you joking?
Well, we have central heat now, so sometimes when I'm
if you
home,
ever pee in our radiator.
we don't have a radiator. There's nothing. That's one of my great disappointments about this house, is that there's no place for me to pee. There's no sizzle action.
That is really intense for me.
Well, we all have secrets.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing yours. And anyway, the person who peed all over the hamper, I was just saying things happen.
And what about to me?
I know, but somehow yours seems worse.
Mine is not things happen. Mine is bad.
Well, because it wasn't his idea. I guess our caller feels more innocent to me because he was like along for the ride. It wasn't his idea. Like now the guy who told him that this is where we're peeing, he's a little more disturbed.
I should get together with that guy. He seems
You
cool.
guys kind of seem alike.
Yeah, he seems cool.
It was your idea.
He seems like a unique thinker.
Would you do it when you were mad at your mom, Moshe?
No, it was just for pure fun. Pure fun. Come out of the bath, and I'd be like, that'd be a fun place to pee. I was a kid. I was a little kid.
12.
No, I said no when you said 12. I said like 10, 9, 8, and you wouldn't accept that. You want it to be older. Let's play another secret.
Hey, Natasha and Mosh. I have a secret, and I try to keep it hidden from most people in my life, except maybe somebody who lives with me because it's unavoidable. I trim my toenails with my teeth, and I have been for probably the past 10 years. Okay, bye.
Just don't do that.
I've done that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Right by the heater. I would pee into it and then I would do a yoga pose. But I hear what she's saying. I know what she's talking about.
Well, I think that it's good. There's certain things that you can like just talk yourself out of.
And trimming your toenails with your teeth. But what is the downside? Ringworm? I mean, is that if that's the worst thing that comes of it?
I do think that anyone who's with you as a partner would probably find it slightly like unseemly.
Well, it's probably the kind of thing you don't do when you're with someone else.
Right.
Probably not like curling up on Netflix with your partner and then you just give a little chaw to the old pinky toe.
Oh man, I'm having a hard time tonight.
All
Secrets
right,
are all kind of like getting to me.
Okay, well, let's move on. Let's do another call.
Okay. That's so funny. You peed in the radiator.
That is true. I used to talk about it in my AA talk. It's like a funny, like, here's how I was a fucked up kid. And I would make that
Were
was
you drunk?
No, I was just like a weird kid with mental and emotional problems. And I would say I used to pee in the heater because it made a funny sound and a funny smell. I was later to find out, and then people would laugh. One of my early proto jokes.
What was the joke? I would pee in the radiator
Because it made a funny sound and a funny smell. I would later find out.
Oh, and you got to laugh.
Got a little laugh.
So you started traveling AA, and then you're like, "Ooh, I kind of like these little laughs."
Yes,
and then
that's
you became
correct.
a comedian.
Yes, that's exactly
wow.
how
That's
it happened.
interesting. Now, see what I feel like now that I've had a child with you, now I'm getting scared
What do you mean? Why?
because maybe she'll be like you.
It's
and, like,
possible, but
pee
maybe
she does pee in the drain.
she does. Well, you taught her to do that.
I did not teach her how to do that.
You did too. You did.
No, I didn't.
You told me that you did.
I didn't.
She does outside of our house in the backyard.
If she
There's
sees a drain, she'll pee.
Maybe she is. She's a chip off the old block.
Oh my God.
Chip off the. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna buy her a external radiator so she has a place to pee.
So you weren't drunk.
I was not. Stop. I was not drunk. I was 8 years old.
No, I was just saying, yeah. All right. Well, let's call Gabriella in Orange County.
Here we go. Hopefully, she's wearing a mask.
Is Orange County like an anti-mask place?
Well, Huntington Beach is like kind of the headquarters of California anti-vax stuff. Gabriella.
Oh, really? Hey.
Gabriella.
Gabriella.
How's it going?
Going so well. I'm so excited to be here.
We're glad to have you. Now, did you go to the recent anti-vax rally in the Huntington Beach?
No, I was not there.
Sounds like a cool place to find a guy.
Wait, Huntington Beach is where all the anti-vaxxers are? I didn't know that.
Well, here's a little tidbit about Huntington Beach. Not that you live in Huntington Beach. We just know what county you live in. We don't know where you live in Orange County. The former mayor of Huntington Beach, got knocked out in an exhibition fight last weekend. He was a UFC champion. We actually, I think, interviewed him together on Adam Carolla once. Tito Ortiz.
Really?
So that's what's going on with the municipal government of Huntington Beach, is that they're moonlighting in exhibition fights. But anyway, Gabriella, how can we help?
Yes. Okay. I need relationship advice.
Okay.
So just a little background. I was engaged in May, called it off. I'm newly single and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I am dating this one guy. I don't want to say I'm in love with him, but like, I think I'm in love with him. But I am also dating other people. So it just gets a little weird that way. But yeah, we've been dating since June. And when I first started talking to him, I said, I want something casual, but we talk every day. We see each other like twice a week. We're anything but casual. He's already met my friends. And then we're going away for a weekend together, like next week. So in August, I asked him, like, what's going on? What's happening here? And he was just like, hey, I like to see where this is going. I want to keep it where it is. I don't think we'll get married, but I want to see where it goes.
He said that?
Yes.
What?
He's like, no, I think it could go as far as engagement.
Like your last relationship.
Right. Yeah. He's like, I do know that you're comfortable ending a relationship at that zone. So I'm interested in seeing if it gets that far.
I mean, does that turn you off a little bit, Gabriella? Like, I would kind of be turned off by that. If someone told, they just would seem like kind of a rigid person.
Yeah, because I was like, why aren't I wife material? Like, why would you tell me that? I didn't even ask if we're gonna get married, and he just throws that information out there. I didn't need to know it.
Was he flirting? Was he trying to be funny?
It was via text, so very hard to read. But I did. Okay, so here more to the story. I asked him that in August. It's obviously been in the back of my head since then. 2 weeks ago, I said, hey, what are my red flags? Why aren't we getting married? And he said, you party a little too much.
Do you party a little too much?
No, I don't. That's the thing. So we are both
Usually, by the way, usually people that party too much are very comfortable saying, yeah, I party too much. They always are very honest about that. They're like, I've got a problem, actually.
They're just like, yeah, this is it. No, so like we're both into EDM music. And since we've started talking, we've both been to like 2 shows and that's it. Like our level of partying is the same. So I was like, is this just a bullshit excuse? He's just like, maybe you party a little too much. It's like, no, we party the same amount. It feels like a cop out. You know what I mean?
You guys don't seem that compatible.
Well, they're very compatible in some ways. They're both speaker freakers. They like going to these like these dubstep shows and dropping a couple of hits of Molly and just putting their head all the way in the speaker, putting a little Vicks Vapor Rub under each nostril and chewing on a pacifier.
I mean, just the idea that some guy's like, I will date you, but I will not marry you, and then he's like, you have to keep asking him where you stand, and then you ask him again, and he's like, you party too much. I mean, it just feels like. He just feels kind of like not that much fun, to be honest. And you seem like a lot of fun.
Right. You're so much fun. You're actually a drug addict. This is I have a strong feeling about this one, Gabriella.
Okay, you go, Moshe.
And it's basically what Natasha's saying. It's like, with one added thing. You are a victim of getting what you asked for. You started this relationship saying, I don't want anything serious. You found somebody that is incapable of giving you anything serious.
Who is probably seeing other people right now because you are, right?
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, you're like, wait a minute, maybe I could change the terms of this agreement. And you fucked around and now you're finding out. This dude he's not that guy. So when he says, I don't know if I'm going to marry you, he's not saying you're not marriage material. He's saying, I'm not marriage material. It's not going to happen with me because he's the guy that agreed to the casual relationship in the first place. Mm-hmm. He's the casual guy. Why are you trying to turn a hoe into a housewife?
Oh, he is a doctor. That's why.
Oh, that's why. I get it. Right. He can give you a bunch of prescriptions.
But you know what? Enjoy this time with him and see if it does grow. Because if he starts to feel more and you start to feel more, and then maybe you can reframe it. And but I personally would stop asking him about like where things are at. I would try to get him a little more on you, and I would just be a little more busy. But
you ain't gonna reframe it. It's not happening. He already told you. He's telling you in a very insensitive way. It doesn't seem like he's an incredibly nice guy.
And it sounds like he thinks that he's like, this like master and he's, he's a doctor and who is he going to wed?
Right.
And, he's like, probably thinks he can get anyone because he's a doctor and he makes money, I guess. I don't know.
But I think that's what it is. He's giving you a very clear signal. He's saying what you asked for in the beginning and what I agreed to at the beginning is what I'm going to be giving you until the end. So you have to know if you're comfortable with that.
But does it mean that they can't fall in love eventually if she keeps going on these trips with him?
I don't see it. It could be. Obviously, things change. There are no rules. But it just seems like if he's telling you, how about 6 months in, you guys are going on a vacation. Like, I want to keep things where they are. I want to see where this is good. He's going to fall in love month 9?
No, it sounds like he's trying to keep his options open now that I think about it. And I really think that, he has this idea, like sometimes we make fun of like men in Hollywood, like they all want like a a 10 who went to Harvard, a bikini model who went to Harvard, and they're all kind of holding out for that, and that's what they all think that they're gonna marry, like. Yeah. And so I think that men have this, or they all think they're going to like move to LA and maybe they could date Emma Stone, but they'll like, date anyone else until they can people just want to keep their options open because they have this unrealistic view, and it's really immature of like who they could be dating and, who they could like walk into a party with and who could help them leverage certain things in their career and in their, so it's like, and who's going to father my or mother my children. And, it's just very unrealistic. And I don't know. I just think it's more important to think about what you want. And is he marriage material for you? And, and keep dating other guys because he's dating other women probably. I noticed
something. Do you want to say something, Gabriella? Sorry.
No, keep going. You got it.
No, I just noticed something that having done this podcast for a long time, that women often do when men say things like this. Men say things like, I don't want to go there. I'm not ready to go there with this relationship. I want to keep it the casual, blah, blah, blah. And the woman often has this reaction that you had. What's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough for you to make it serious? You're missing all the information, which is that nothing's wrong with you. You already know the information about you. You're down. There's something wrong with him. He's the guy, when he says, I don't know if you're marriage material, he's saying, I'm not the guy for you. He's not saying you're not the girl for me. He's saying, I'm not, you're not going to get that out of me. And women are always, I've noticed again and again, they're framing this as like, oh, if I was different, he would be down. No, he's saying, I'm Dr. Fuckboy, like that. Yeah. So take me as I come. I don't have anything else to offer you.
And maybe if you start liking someone else, maybe he will fall. I don't know. Like maybe he'll get jealous, and that might activate something in him and activate a little passion because, what you want from him is for him to, you're already skipping a marriage. You guys aren't even like exclusive. You have a long way to go.
That's true.
Yeah. So, I guess that's the follow-up question. Like, stop talking to him or just like push him away a little bit or just keep it how it is?
Because if you, like what Moshe said, if you can handle it how it is,
right? Which
I think you would have to, like what I would do if it was me personally, this is what I would tell myself I would try to do is maybe try to do one less thing with him, or, just be like, just don't or at least don't drop everything to do something. You know what I mean? Because I think that when you're really into someone, like anything is like tentative except being with them, So whenever they invite you, you drop everything. And I don't know. I think the more times you don't do that, the more times you're opening up yourself to find other things, whether it be from yourself or maybe a coffee with someone else who you don't know yet, but just like opening up to other things besides him.
Ask him if he knows any cute doctor guys.
But I don't think you need to ignore him. And I think if you want to go on this trip, it'll be fun. But here, I'll tell you what not to do. Do not ask him again where you stand.
That is real.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't do
I
that.
was going to be like, when do I bring it up again?
Don't do that.
Never bring it up.
You saying never?
Never bring it up. No, let him bring it up.
That's true.
He already told her twice. Now she's just kind of humiliating herself and annoying him.
I feel that, but the other thing to not do is to engage in a fantasy where you're like, I'm just going to stick it out until he changes. It's like...
Right, I would do that too.
Have your fun with this. If this guy's fun, you guys like going dancing together and you guys have good sex, I bet that's clearly true. And you guys like to party together, like have that fun, but don't think you could stick around long enough for him to fundamentally change. He's told you who he is. He's kind of not the most sensitive dude in the world, but probably a lot of fun to be around and exciting because he's like a smart guy or whatever, but he's not going to give you what you want. So if you want love, look elsewhere. If you want more casual, Dr. Fuckboy, then stick around.
Yeah.
Sorry if that's depressing, Gabriella.
I already kind of thought about it. I just needed to hear it. And it's like my therapist wasn't around. So.
All right. Well, good luck and stay strong. And you're gorgeous. And, you know.
And think about it this way. How much does your therapist cost? $150 an hour? $100 an hour?
You know what, Kaiser? Co-pay $20.
$20, even just 20. Okay, so that's one hit of Molly. Is what I'm saying. Try to frame it in terms that you respond to. You just saved yourself one hit of Molly. This is awesome. At the next Dead Mouse show that you go to, or who's your favorite? Who are your guys?
Oh my God, Jax Jones. You heard of him?
Haven't heard of anybody anymore. I stopped going to raves in like 2001. When those towers fell, that was the end of my time in the EDM community. All right,
Well,
Gabriella.
I don't think he really respects you that much.
I don't
and
either.
I think that, have fun if you feel like it, but just, I would just cool off a little bit.
Yes,
if you can.
I have
50%.
one
That's my
final thought.
diagnosis.
Natasha's diagnosis.
Oh, but
is
don't
right.
try to like play games. Just really try to be genuinely like a full, like busy and doing things and get tickets to things with girlfriends and like, just do other stuff. And you like to party, go book other things.
Here is Natasha's right, and I have one last thought based on it. If I was a respectful dude who respected you and just wanted a casual relationship with you, you said to me, I'm starting to fall for you. What's up? Where are we at? Here's what I would say. That hasn't happened for me yet. I'm still comfortable with us staying casual. I wouldn't add that little extra bit of information. I don't see us getting married. And you party a little too hard. That's the information he's giving you. You don't have any red flags. He's got the red flags. He's going, not only am I going to keep it casual, but I'm going to insult you on the way out too. Just so you know I'm the man. Like I'm dominant in
I
this
don't like it.
situation.
And also, what does that mean? You party too much. You're not at the same level as me.
No, but it's also even worse than that. It's like you diagnosed it. We party the same amount.
Yeah.
And what he's saying is you party too much because I can party at this level. That's cool. But the woman in my life, she's got to be like, that's not cool for her.
Oh, yeah.
That's just some stanky like misogyny that I'm not down with.
I think you can meet someone better, honestly.
There are other doctors in the sea, as they say.
But, if it's a fun place that you want to go to, and, it might be worth it for the trip.
That Dr. Dick.
I mean, it's like solving and it's fine. But yeah, no, lot to think about for sure. Gonna go on the trip and then pull back a little bit more.
Enjoy yourself, have fun, and
look for those insults.
Yeah, look for the insults. They might be. She's right. They might be more present than you're aware of because, like I said, your response to his insult was, "What's wrong with me?" Not, "Well, hey, what the fuck is wrong with him?"
Very true. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Good luck.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
And you know what else is going to happen on their trip is she's going to spend a little more time with him because I think like a few more months she's going to realize he's kind of like an asshole.
He seems like an asshole. He seems. What I didn't want to say because I don't want to give her a complex, although I think maybe we already did, is there's a certain kind of guy in the world. I should have just told this to her. A certain kind of guy in the world who will categorize women. I mean, honestly, probably women do this too, and be like, "You're good for fun, but you're not good for wife." Like my wife needs to be this kind of like idealized, like
a lot of men are like that.
Yeah, and I think women do it too. The good time.
Men do it more.
I think women do it more.
Okay.
I think women do it 50% and men do it 50%.
Okay, whatever.
I think men do it 50%, 51%. Women 49%.
Okay.
Will you accept that?
Yeah.
And no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that this like idea, like they have this weird warped idea that like my wife will be this way. She'll be this innocent paragon of virtue. It's the Madonna whore complex, right? I'm not gonna.
Oh, they want her to like be pure, the wife.
Have you heard of the Madonna whore complex?
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that men are engaged with. So it's like I want to be with the whore, but like I want to end up with the Madonna.
Do you know anyone who did that?
Who ended up with the Madonna? Like the pure woman?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's usually kind of an unevolved guy who doesn't realize that there's Madonna and whore in every woman, and that Madonna is going to be there's no such thing as pure anybody. People aren't pure, and they're also not dirty. They're just people. I am evolved. I can sit in a hot spring and with surrounded by 5 naked models and think nothing more than I love my wife. And if one of these women sparked an interest in her eyes, then we could all 3 go home together. But until that happens, I'm just going to have a conversation about surf spots.
All right. Well, why don't you give us a call, 213-222-8608. Tell us what you think. You can also send us an email, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com, or visit us on Instagram.
We can be found on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. And most important of all, Natasha.
Yes?
I couldn't really look at those women in the hot spring as anything more than interesting people. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I love you.
I love you too.